Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and welcome back to Aokana. Golden Week has begun. Yeah, Golden Week is the season in which we start doing Flying Circus seriously. Aoi-san is currently leading everyone in the Kunahama Academy FC Club to our training camp. The students have that much power over the school? Yes, instead of a student council, Takafuji Academy has something called the Administrative Council. And I hear they practically run the school. They have a lot of students too. The main school in Tokyo alone has over 6,000. Their Fukura Island branch obviously doesn't reach anywhere near that number. But it's still a Brobdino... that school. Yeah. You're a local, so you should at least know the building. I've seen it around. I was just thinking that literally no one these days would use that ouch. And Madoka tilts to the side at a strange angle. Hey, Miss Kagami, don't go bumping into me. What was your point, younger Iwagi? Are you trying to say I'm out of touch because of my age, huh? I would never. Honestly, you've got a lot more cheeky lately, haven't you? And here I thought you were a well-behaved student. I was just trying to be more open and honest, but I'm reconsidering that as we speak. That's us. I opt out of the situation. Aoi-san is clearly peed off, even if it doesn't show on her face. Your Madoka-chan is in big trouble. This is your time to shine, big bro. Save his dismal and distress, big bro. Did you see how she just snuck up on Madoka and totally threw off balance? She's seriously skilled. Well, I'll admit that was impressive, but it's better not to try that during normal flight. Madoka, you're part of the Kunahama Academy FC too. Still, all the moves she uses on you during your special lessons. I'm the manager, okay? Just save me. Any more of this and my limb makeup will be ruined. The membrane's running against my skin and making it come off. Do you mean are making it come off? Limb makeup? She means less is more. Oh, a YSK kind of thing, huh? Then. Hey, why are you people always speaking in riddles? I don't really understand, but I'll take your word for it. I fly over to Aoi-san in order to ask a question. Why are we flying to them? There are better means of transport. Think of it as practice. I don't get it. I knit my brows in confusion. To be honest, there wasn't enough time to organise staff after I applied for the training camp. Forget transportation. I even had to force Takafuji to change their plans to fit us in. And they're fine with that? Now I'm getting uneasy for an entirely different reason. Also, we don't have enough funds for a bus. Anyway, who cares? This is an FC club, so don't complain about flying. How about we take turns singing to relieve your boredom? It's not like I want this to feel like some camping trip. Well, if you want another reason I chose to fly over, I honestly don't even care anymore. I want to see how much progress my apprentices students have made in a week. I'd lost interest and started to move my eyes away from her, but hearing that makes me turn back toward her instantly. What? Does that have you all emotional? She has a smug look on her face, as she does, but I can also sense a hint of kindness within it that most people wouldn't register. You know how much they've improved if you actually showed up to practice at all. I'll reply in a accusatory tone. I mean, come on, how come a club advisor not even show up to practice once? Her excuse sounds way too forced to move me to tears. I'll think about it. Doubt it. Well, something tells you they still got a long way to go. Huh? What do you mean by... Ah! Asuka! Excuse me? Asuka's suddenly flying right next to me. What's the matter? Do you need help with your form again or something? I can't say I don't, but... Right. Kiyoshina, just be straight with him. Only way he'll get better as if he knows how he's a bad... What do you mean? Do you always have to trash me? I swear she's constantly bad-mouthing me. It really sucks. Oh no, he's a great coach. In fact, he's totally wasted on me. Again, out of context, Asuka. For goodness sakes, we're going to have this as a series. Asuka, but out of context. No need to exaggerate, but thanks. So, what's up? Well, Miss Kagami didn't finish telling me about the school we're heading to, so, I wonder if she forgot. Right, Asaka, tell her. Pretending to blow smoke out a cigarette that's not even lit can't save her. You're looking pretty smug, Masaya. I'll pretend not to hear that. You're misunderstanding, Kirishina. I just finished part 1, that's all. We're about to get right into the depths of part 2, which is obviously something which you haven't explained yet. Also, your belt is undone, AoE. Why is she being so dramatic? That's got to be one of the worst excuses I've ever heard. Okay, I see. I'm sorry, I didn't realise part 2 was coming. And this gullible girl actually believes her. Quit lying to her, you totally just forgot. I see my little whelp stunned pretty deep. Master of the obsolete, AoE. Ha! Madoka flies off sideways in an exaggerated manner as the AoE-san palm grazes her. No! How could you use such a dangerous move on a manager? Or just somebody else in general? Consider yourself lucky. You'd all be dead if I got serious. Impressive. I can't believe she's even mastered the Assassin's Fist. You need to steal that move from her too. You want your little sister to become a killer? Yeah, this is getting way too weird. Better get away from Aoi-san while I still can. Yeah, great idea. Whoa there! Asuka follows me. Looks like she did it without really thinking. Miss Kagami seems preoccupied. How about I pick up where she left off? Oh, in that case... Asuka presses her hands together mid-sentence as she suddenly remembered something. I thought I heard Miss Kagami call you her apprentice earlier. You must have been hearing things. Oh, okay. Guess you're right. Facade. Asuka's absolute faith in me makes me feel bad. But there's nothing I can do about that. Don't really feel like explaining our past right now. Oh, we're here. Can you tell me more about Takafuji Academy then? Miss Kagami said it's very big, but how exactly... Stop. You're telling me to wait again? The part 2 Miss Kagami mentioned is over and there's going to be a part 3? No, it's just seeing is believing. Huh? I tell our entire group to stop. Below us is an area far too large to be a normal campus. We're there. We're where? Episode 3. Rivals. Fukuru Island is located 5.4 kilometers southwest of Kunahama Island. It takes 90 minutes to cross by ferry, and in the northeastern part of Fukuru Island is a school. So this is Takafuji Academy's Fukuru Island branch, huh? Wow, it's huge! Asuka gives her honest impression. Didn't you forget the option to attend Takafuji, Kirishina? Yeah, it's nearby and it's a really prestigious school. I did, but any specific reason you didn't choose it? Moving between classrooms is hard when the school's big. Frankly, that kind of response suits Asuka best. Wow. None of you chose to attend Takafuji either, right? Well, I chose Kunahama because it's close by. That's my default answer to the question. And it's what I want to believe too. But honestly, I know that wasn't my real reason. Is it something to do with Flying Circus? After all, I've been trying to avoid Flying Circus for a while now. That's why I chose Kunahama Academy, which wasn't known for FC, and somehow I still end up getting involved with the sport. Ioi-san was the first person I ever lied to about my motives, though I'm guessing she saw right through me from the start. I chose Kunahama because its FC club is weak. Can't say I'm expected him to share my thought process. We'll start off as a circle with no members, no place to practice and no club room. Then we do well enough to attract new members and become an official club. And finally, we win the nationals in our first try. That's my dream. Doesn't the idea get you pumped? But now you're a senior and none of that's happened. So what? It's never too late. The key to our victory is muscles. How does that work? Do I need to bulk up to help us win? Mishira seems pretty worried by that thought. Yep. Man, reality's a harsh mistress. In its 3 years, the Kunohama Academy FC club accomplished nothing and lost all of its members. Also, someone should speak up about the win the nationals part. What do you talk about, Shinin? I remember you begging your teacher for a recommendation to Takafuji. You'd be there if you didn't fail the entrance exam. Takafuji Academy failed to see the true potential of my muscles, and I shall make them pay for it. Do you lose to one of their students recently? I'm thinking about that too, for goodness sakes. That was then. This is now. You never quit, do you? Maybe it's the power of his muscles? Considering my situation, I'm actually kind of jealous, though I'd still never wish to be like him. What about you two? Seemed like a pain. Takafuji is the rich kid. Wow, talk about prejudice. I think that's a bit of an overstatement, yeah. Is it the same for you, Madoka-chan? Nah, for me, smaller is better. Okay, with a big school, it's like there's way too many people. Makes it easy to get lost in the shuffle, you know. So I figured I'd go to a school that was more low-key. That way, whenever big stuff happened, I could grab a spotlight to become a main heroine. It's not like this is a game or an anime, you know. Just call me Super Duper Main Heroine Madoka-chan. What about if we just don't? Do you even get how arrogant you sound? Oh, coming from you who's always looking up to Masaki. Somehow I get the theme that I should give up on her. By the way, what was it that you talked about earlier? The administrative council, I mean. Roughly speaking, the students of Takafuji are in charge of running the school, though of course that's only at face value. And the members of the administrative council are at the top of the fat food chain. I see. Doesn't click. No, doesn't click? Well, here's a good example. The Takafuji FC doesn't have a supervisor right now, or well, they do have one, but only on paper. Huh? A prestigious school like that doesn't have an FC club advisor? They had one before last year. What happened? He got so caught up in protecting the image of the school that he started telling people to win at any cost. Oh dear, giving him a bad rep. Eventually the students got fed up with his lack of care for their health and impeached him. Sounds like recent events recently. Who's in charge now? The person who rallied the rest of the club members to remove their old advisor. He's been in charge ever since. And it would be an understatement to say he performed well last year. Under his watch, the members improved by leaps and bounds. And he even personally took home the regional championship last year. I'm talking about their FC's club president. We have eagerly awaited your arrival. I turned towards the person who just addressed us. And when I did, I see a rather large number of students that are gathered before us. There's probably more than 50 of them. I'm guessing that's the Takafuji Academy FC club. They've got a lot of and there's Rika, for goodness sakes. No need to guess before, cause I spot an all too familiar face. Didn't expect the entire club to come greet us. And the one who called out to us, positioned at the center of the lined up students, is, of course it's her. Greetings, Kunohama Academy FC club. Right, I should have known. Huh? Do you know her? Madoka asks. Kind of. Huh? Don't tell me that Shatuo-san is the president you were talking about. No, she's not. Where's Shindu? Shindu? Kazunari Shindu. That's the name of their president. He's the strongest Skywalker of our generation. Shindu. Never heard of him. Oh, I've heard the name before. He's pretty famous. Apparently he's the role model of every young Skywalker. Oh, really? I've had my hands full, so I never bothered to scout potential opponents. My bad. I'm totally failing as a coach right now. Should start paying more attention to FC news. But putting that aside, something urgent came up that required his attention. Our club has more than enough managers, but there's some administrative work that only he can take care of. About 7 or 8 students all bow their heads when she brings up their managers. Guess that's their way of introducing themselves. No worries, quality's way more important than quantity. Damn, that means we're 700 times worse instead of only 7. Rude! I ignore our barely functioning manager for now. Can't believe there are so many people in supporting roles. No wonder they house the reigning champion. He's also been eagerly awaiting your arrival, so I'm sure he'll be here soon. Even when you've got a very normal face on, it still looks pretty smug. Eagerly awaiting us? Huh? Going by what Aoi-san said, this joint training camp is effectively the same as us forcing ourselves into Takafuji's practice. It'd be nice if everyone actually wanted us here, but... Rika... I doubt they do. Allow me, the Vice President, to welcome you in his place. I am Takafuji's Violet Rose, Riko Shatouine. Miss Kagami, is she also a famous Skywalker? I never heard of her. She sure doesn't mince words. Sounds like a rich girl. She's actually really prestigious. Mishima seems annoyed by her attitude. In any case, it's simply wonderful that you've travelled so far to stay with us. I thank you on behalf of the Takafuji Academy FC Club. You must be exhausted from a long journey. Allow me to guide you to our club room. Hand me your luggage. I shall carry it. Saying so, Shatouine-san comes over to get our bags herself. Wouldn't say it was a journey, but it's nice to see she actually cares. I take back what I said. Maybe she's not all bad. Right. She's actually a pretentious, humble, rich girl. Really now. That makes no sense. Misaki's just contradicting herself there. Plus she's wrong on both counts. Shatouine-san is just a genuine kind person. No, you can't. You can leave that for later. Oh my, that seems odd. They're still young, so it's better for them to warm up right away. There she goes again. What are we supposed to do if our warm-up ends poorly? The looks on everyone but Asuka's face makes it clear we're thinking along the same lines. However, that isn't even the strangest thing she's just said. I mean, what does being young have to do with anything? I'm sure all of us want to ask her that question, but we avoid it in order to ensure our continued survival. Come to think of it, we haven't introduced ourselves yet. I'm the club advisor, Aoi Kagami. Ah, some of the Takafuji girls lets out cheers as she introduces herself. Seems once legendary Aoi Kagami is still known among the young Skywalkers. I'm not surprised, she had a ton of fans back in the day, and most of them were girls. Quiet down. Shatouine-san scolds them. Masaya. Got it. Urged on by her gaze, I decide to introduce myself. Thank you for making this training camp possible. I'm Masaya Hinata, a sophomore at Kiwahama Academy. I also currently serve as the coach of our FC club. A player and a coach? You're the same as our president then. No, I'm just the coach. Oh my. Rika. All of the Takafuji students seem surprised by that fact. Makes sense. It's pretty unusual for someone our age to be just a coach. Even Shindu-san, the top Skywalker of our generation, does both. That must mean they take me for some genius strategist, some Zhuge you is. Damn, I want to go home now. That said, it's not like I'm anything special. Masaya is amazing. He's leading the whole club on his own. What are you saying? I was trying to lower their expectations, but she just ruined everything. He's also incredibly mature. You can't even compare him to someone as irresponsible as me. That's why I'm leaving him in charge. Seriously? Cut it out! Wait, what? I had to have misheard that, right? Yeah. You can't be serious. You're not actually leaving us here, are you? Don't worry, I'll come to pick you up when the training camp's done. That's not the problem here. Listen, if I stick around, that girl won't be able to focus on practice. She winks at a girl who's staring at her as she says that. Rika? Shrill cheers erupt once more. All jokes aside, didn't really sound like a joke to me. No teachers allowed. That was one of their conditions. I'm sure you can pass for a student. Keep that up and your face will meet my heels. I mean, what if he... No, I'm just joking. But she really does look young. Ao-san turns to face Shiotuin-san. So far, I've left the club in his capable hands. Think of him as Kurihama's Shindu. No, please don't. Sure, I haven't even met Shindu-san, but he sounds way more amazing than me. Hinata is the one who made this training camp a reality. I don't know if this is her sick idea of payback, but either way, she keeps making the situation worse for me. Oh my, how impressive. And the problem is, everyone Takafuji is buying into her rap. Rika, would you stop staring at us like that? For goodness sakes, if you're gonna do that, at least say something. Ugh, I'm screwed. Alright, I'm heading out now. I can't believe you're actually abandoning us. I know she's not the type to change her mind, but still. Fine, I've given up on stopping you, so please do something about our president before you leave. What? He's down in the dumps because you made him seem like the leader. What? I just noticed that Prez looks devastated. His reaction's honestly kinda cute, which doesn't suit him at all. I'm impressed by your observational skills, Masaya. That's beside the point. It's a coach's job to cheer up his team. Don't worry, that should be no sweat for someone with such a keen eye. Flattery will get you nowhere. Quit trying to avoid the problem. Oh, look at the time. I'm outside of working hours already. Time to close up shop for the day. Sorry. Hey, Miss Kagami. If you notice that all on your own, you should try to fix it on your own too. Show everyone what you're made of, okay? So what? She's saying this is a test of my leadership skills or something. Fine. I'll take care of it. Can't really count on her to handle it anyway. I'll turn to face everyone from Takafuji Academy again. Let me continue where I left off. This here is our very dependable club president. Prez's ears twitch when he hears that. And no one I know is muscular as him. His bulging biceps are a huge help during practice. That's right. Oh, goodness sakes. I am Shinin Aogi, a senior at Kurihama Academy. Let's all work on our muscles together during this training camp. Prez returns in all his glory. Why are you talking about his muscles so much? That makes us sound like a pack of freaks. Better be careful. If you keep making us look bad, I'll promise I'll stop talking to you. Unfortunately, the way I handle it, that is met with contempt by some of our female members. I'll just pretend I didn't hear that. Introductions come on after the president. Me next. I am Asuka Furushima, a sophomore. Quiet murmurs erupt amongst Takafuji club members. What's up with them? It's actually only been 3 weeks since I started flying. I don't have any real SC experience, but the buzz has grown louder. Oh, I see. The Takafuji people keep glancing between Asuka and Shatuin-san. That makes sense. They must all know that Asuka scored a point on Shatuin-san. On top of that, she started flying only 3 weeks ago. If you look at the timeline, she'd only been at it for a week back then. It's no wonder they're all confused. Her stock must have taken a big hit thanks to the revelation. I look at Shatuin-san as that thought runs through my mind. It has been a while, Asuka Kirishina. Oh yes, Shatuin-san, I'm glad you remember me. I never forget a name. Besides, didn't you introduce yourself a moment ago? I look forward to a chance I'll get to redeem myself. Let's make it a great match. I'm looking forward to it too. Let's do our best out there. Shatterin-san directs an elegant bow at Asuka, which she hurriedly tries to return. Wow, that's a little unexpected. I thought she might hold a grudge and go all, "That was nothing but a fluke," or something. No, you don't do that. Otherwise she wouldn't be the humble girl that she acclaims herself to be, or what others acclaim her to be. Actually, the Takafuji students all seem really composed too. Maybe Shatterin-san's a better leader than I thought. And there's still someone above her, Shindu-san. Takafuji's Academy's Fukaura Island branch, huh? She's still just staring. For goodness sakes, a certain girl I know has been glaring daggers at me this entire time. The expression she has on her face makes me pry she only looks like her. But I know that isn't true. Anyway, introductions come. My name is Mishira Arasaka. I'm a freshman, and... Why don't you tell them your playstyle? I know, I was just about to say that! Come on, quit acting like I'm a kid. My playstyle is fighter. I'm looking forward to practicing with all of you. Mishira bows her head with a smile on her face. What, can't spare any of that kindness for me. Guess this is what they call teenage rebellion. Oh, for goodness sakes, what's up? Seems like you want to say... I thought you went! It's nothing. They grew up so fast. Oh dear. Very proud of them all. Oh, I forgot to say, but I'm an all-rounder. And I'm a speeder. The two people who finish introducing themselves chime in with their player styles. And then next comes... Misaki Tobishawa, sophomore fighter. That's a bit too brief. Low blood pressure or not, she could at least try a bit harder here. Japanese, very hard. Let me get this straight. You're planning on rolling with that broken Japanese for the rest of the training camp, yeah? Nice to meet you all. Misaki bows her head. Glad she realised it'd be a pain to keep that up. And last but certainly not least comes the shining star for Kurihama Academy FC Club, Kurihama Academy sophomore for one, the only Madoka-chan. Happy to meet you all. Alright, I'm going now. I thought you went earlier. Okay, see you in a few days. Take care, Miss Kagami. No reaction? Exactly, you should be glad you didn't get anyone's honest opinion. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's a bit of an embarrassment, for goodness sakes. Although if we said that, she'll be like, you know, remember this one time when you're peeking through the bus? I'm watching Aoi-san leave when... You. I mean you. Yes, you. Hey, listen to me. Huh? Are you talking to me? Have you seen me looking at anyone else? I mean, no, but it's kind of hard to tell when all she says is you. What happened to not forgetting a name you've heard? Nothing. I haven't forgotten yours at all. However, that doesn't necessarily mean I need to use it, right? I see. She's saying there's some condition I haven't cleared yet. Need to earn her respect to get the privilege of being called by name. Well, what do you need? Are you sure you're fine with practicing right away? Let me think. That proposal is our beloved teacher's last will and testament. We should at least use it for her sake. Yeah, let's just get right to practice. Can we use your changing rooms? Do we have to? Come on, take this more seriously. They're letting us stay here and practice with them. Have some manners, girl. That should be fine. Follow me, the changing rooms are right this way. Thank you. At least Asuka is more humble about it than the other two girls. Shatterin-san takes it upon herself to show her members the way to the changing rooms so everyone other than me follows her. Yeah, exactly. Sheesh. Next thing I know, I found myself all alone in front of dozens of Takafuji students. Rika, would you stop staring at me? Should have just gone with them. I've got nothing to do here. This is really awkward. Actually, that's not quite right. I'm their coach. It's my job to get to know some of their players to help my team fit in. I'm not very good at socializing, but I am the only one who can do this. Wait, Madoka would have been perfect for this, and she doesn't even need to change. Why'd she leave? Guess it doesn't really matter now. It's all up to me. I need to at least talk to one person. Rika. Having made up my mind, I take a deep breath to relax and prepare myself for this trial. And somebody beat us to it. That's right, I forgot. I still have to deal with her. Can I have a moment? What exactly is a moment? She leads me to a place away from the other Takafuji students. Let me start off by confirming this. You are the Hinata-san I heard. Oh, sorry, I know, yes? Yes. And you're the Echinos who moved in next door. Looks like I was right. What do you mean? I already guessed you were a member of the Takafuji Academy FC club. Does that mean... what? Does it mean you knew I was venting to you? No. Forget about that, I'm sorry. I shouldn't suspect you of any wrongdoing. Guess she doesn't assume the worst. I really didn't know at the time. Promise. It only clicked after Aoi-san told us about the training camp. Yeah, because it's kind of like Rika was talking about like a sudden meeting, and that meeting was coincide with today's experience. Why now? What do you mean? She's been really vague. Can't tell what she's trying to ask at all. Here in the Takafuji Academy FC club, everyone takes FC seriously. That's clear to even someone like me who's only joined this spring. Practice is tough, but my fellow club members are all focused and ambitious, and I respect them greatly for that. The summer tournament is only 2 months away, which means it's important that we devote as much of our time to practice as we can. This will be our last tournament ever for all the seniors. We can't afford to leave behind any regrets. Shindu Senpai in particular is the strongest FC player of our generation and the reigning champion, so he has to defend its title no matter what. I know it might be presumptuous of me to say this, since I'm still new here, but I can feel their passion for the sport every single day we practice. And now, they have to take their time out of their precious practice schedules to help out some club that just formed. Don't misunderstand me, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, it's just, why does it have to be now? I initially thought she was just taking out her frustration on me, but it seems I was mistaken. I think this goes back to what Aoi-san said. She claimed I spearheaded this training camp. In fact, she even said I was in charge of the Kunahama Academy FC club in general. It's no wonder Ichinos is directing her complaints at me after hearing that. This must be what she was worried about when we last talked. She's worked up about something that has nothing to do with her. She must care a lot about her fellow club members. Or well, that's a positive spin at least. Honestly, I think it's more that she's getting a little ahead of herself. What to do? Aoi-san isn't here right now, which means I can just pin the blame on her. No wait, what am I saying? It is her fault. Still, blame her won't fix things, and I'd feel bad since she isn't even here to defend herself. Plus, Ichinos would be left with no one to answer her questions. That'd be fine by me if she was just a random stranger, but unfortunately she isn't. There's no point in complaining about that just now. Just tell me what you want. I obviously can't ask you to leave right away, but could you maybe wrap up early? I'm really sorry. She has no reason to apologize, yet she does. She goes out of her way to help others, then ends up feeling bad about it. Must be hard to live that way. Let's see, how do I respond here? Oh, look who we have here. Huh? Ah. The sudden appearance of another person turned the conversation on its head. I've been looking for you everywhere. Who would have thought you'd be here of all places? Who? Say, can we shake hands? Actually, I'm already shaking it, aren't I? Thanks. You must be someone that we've already acquainted with. The guy grasped my hand without even introducing myself, and he won't let go. Hey! I try to shake off his hand. Ah! However, I can't get away from him. His grip is too tight. Suddenly a thought occurs. Is this... Shindu Senpai? Should have known. Kazunari Shindu. The strongest Skywalker of our generation. Why does he seem so excited? It's great to finally meet you. You're the Skywalker I've looked up to most. Huh? Ah! His words make me want to curl up into a ball and die. This guy knows my past? But Prez, Hinata-san is just a coach. Oh, that's strange. He goes silent and appears to be thinking deeply. Should I keep quiet? What do you want me to do? Why don't you start by letting go of my hand? Oh, I'm sorry about that. My hand is now covered in cold sweat, but not from him shaking it. I should shut him up before. Hinata-kan was once a legendary Skywalker, but then one day he suddenly quit FC, never to be seen again. Huh? I shake my head dismissively as Ichino stares at me. Take that with a grain of salt. I mean, come on. You could tell he's exaggerating, right? Is this why you're coaching now? Well, I guess it's true that my FC experience played a part in getting me to this position. Still, the past doesn't come with very happy memories for me. Same. I won't deny it, but I don't want to talk about it in detail either. He's been far too humble. He was amazing. Back then, all Skywalkers of our age looked up to him. I want to be just like Masaya Hinata. Kizunari Shindu, the player who's said to be the best in our generation, wants to be like me? You're overhyping me. Am I? Shindu-san narrows his already narrow eyes even more as he smiles. Hold on, if you didn't know that, then why are you talking to him in private, Ichino-kan? There's no way she'll straight up tell him she was complaining about us wasting their time. She's stuck in a no-win situation here. Guess I'll help her get out of this. No, the truth is she did know. She pulled me over here because she didn't want anyone to seek her asking for my autograph, right? No, that's absolutely not. Play along. Yeah, that's right. I'm really sorry about this. Luckily, the words I desperately try to convey through my eyes get through to her. There's no need to be shy. I'm so sorry. I realise we're acting awfully unnatural, but this is the best we can do right now. Too bad we don't have a pen. Damn it, that really sucks. What a shame. I feel like... okay, that's definitely fake. Man, I really hope we aren't blowing our cover. I've got a pen right here. Oh, Huh? What was that? I'm just really surprised. Pleasantly, of course. Always prepared for every situation. That's our club president. Well, I don't usually do this, but I would make an exception just this once since we have an audience. Shindu-san is watching me carefully. She'll treasure it for her life, so please put it on something good. And he's making a real big deal out of this too. Good point. That means I need to think of something that's important to me, where an autograph wouldn't get in the way. But that said, she came here empty-handed. There's no way she has something convenient on her. The only thing that comes to mind are a handkerchief or the tracksuit I'm wearing. Her expression is the one of bitter loss. Just choose one of those. And she's trembling. I know just how she feels. I guess the tracksuit would be a problem, since you need it for our training camp and all. It'll have to be the handkerchief. But I really like this handkerchief. I don't know what to say. By the way, what kind of pen is it? Don't worry, it's oil-based, so it'll never rub off. Oh, I see, lucky me. She was hoping it would rub off. Huh? This is hard to deal with. Honestly, I'm starting to feel just as bad about this as her. Oh, I'm sorry. You're doing me such a huge favour, but No, it's fine. I should be able to forget about it within a matter of 3 days. That's a specific number of days. Though that means it's going to weigh on my mind during this training camp. Don't mind me, go right ahead. I've already made peace with it. Oh, forget that last part. The damage is already done. Oh well, let's just get this over with. Goodness sakes. What is with that face for? Ichino-san, I can hear your agonized voice. And I'm done. Thank you so much. I'll treasure this for the rest of my life. I'm happy to hear that. Ichino has a stiff expression on her face as she holds the handkerchief to her chest. Both of us suffered massive damage. Is this the most tragic autograph session in history? Glad it all worked out. Wow, I'm so jealous, Ichino-san. The truly amazing part here is that the look on his face is in fact full of envy. But Ichino-san, if you didn't know about his past, why did you want his autograph? Truth is, the whole autograph thing was a lie. She moved in right next to my place recently and we're on friendly terms. That's right, and I was too embarrassed to tell you that. Should have known he'd realise things didn't add up. Actually, I did know, but he just seemed to be buying it, so I just tried to force it through. Oh, okay, I see. What a coincidence. I should have just told him the truth from the start. Ichino's handkerchief wouldn't have been sacrificed if I did. I'm really sorry, Ichino's. Still, I really am jealous. I mean, I even made this whole training camp a reality because I wanted to meet Hinata-kan. Huh? What did he just say? Oh, Ichino-kan, please keep what you just heard a secret. See, I want to make this my first and last abuse of presidential powers. Wait, was it Kunohama that forced this training camp? No, Miss Kagami is doing me the favour by taking all the blame. Truth is, I feel terrible making her the fall guy. I have to thank her for it later. What does that mean? I personally requested this training camp. Of course, it's ultimately the result of Miss Kagami and I discussing it and judging that both our schools would benefit. In other words, the training camp is happening with the consent of both schools, yes. Oh no. The girl who had misread the whole situation has turned bright red. It makes you feel silly now, doesn't it? Hinata-san, I guess she must be feeling pretty torn up right now. She can't quite talk properly. Ichino-san, can you return to the others ahead of us? I'd like you to tell them we're going to start practicing about, let's say 10 minutes? But please, can you give me some time to chat with the man who inspired me? This guy says cringe-worthy stuff like it's nothing. Oh, okay. But well, it's probably a good idea to let Ichino's cool off on her own. Excuse me. She bows her head to both me and Shidun-san, then me again one more time and totters away. My apologies. She tends to be a little too serious. Yep, we've already fathomed that one out. Be honest, how long were you listening? Whatever do you mean? He dodges my question with a smile on his face. Seems this guy isn't going to be easy to deal with. Anyway, thanks for your assist. You probably went a little overboard, but it's all worked out. Oh no, I never said anything but the truth. I find that hard to believe. Well then, let's head back now. I know I told Ichino-san I wanted to chat with you, but I get far too nervous when we're alone together. You've got to be kidding me. The train camp has only just begun, so I'm sure we'll all get another chance sometime soon. Yes, very soon. Shindu-san turns away and walks back over to the others. I look at the hand he shook and notice it's still wet. When I get back, I find Ichino surrounded by Takafuji's students. Wow, I never thought you'd go straight for a guy for a different school. Alright, you can count on us, Rika. We'll do whatever we can to make sure things work out between the two of you. Oh dear. No, it's really not like that. I'm happy for her. Looks like her overly serious attitude hasn't done much. She's got a lot of friends. Oh, he's looking this way. This is your chance, Rika. Huh? Our eyes meet. After seemingly waffling on what to do, she directs a bow at me. I lightly raise my hand in response. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. I'm embarrassed just looking at them. Jeez, cut it out. Like I said, she has some good friends. And here they come. Masaya-san, what are you looking at? Oh, you're done changing? Everyone's back now. Wow, they get along so well. Just like me and you, Misaki-senpai. Right, totally. Yep, true. You could at least pretend to agree. Nope. Are you jealous of their relationship, Hinata-kan? How'd you arrive at that idea? Well, I just thought maybe you want to show off our team spirit, like having a battle before a battle makes sense, right? Huh? You're telling us to tease you? Just so that you know, I'm not doing it. If you teach me how, no you don't, you want to. No, Asuka, that just seems sad. Never fear, for I am here. Where do you want to be No. You're not going to... Okay, we've got now shit and out of context situations. Get lost, Prez. After that, we'll head over to Takafuji's practice ground only to find... lots of students. Wow, they're really well equipped. You can't even compare them to us. Don't admit that. I know she's right, but that just makes us look bad. Still, can't say I expected them to have so much more space than us. Guess I shouldn't be too surprised though. This is Takafuji we're talking about, yeah. Like we know as a player. A player with the game. It may be a branch school, but it's still extremely hard to get in. Not to mention the fact that this environment has given birth to top Skywalkers every year. Gotta steal some of this for my own use. By the way, I don't mean I'm literally going to steal their equipment. Just trying to say I'll steal their knowledge and methods and use them to be a successful coach. Yes, observational learning and all that. Their #1 player should be a huge help on that front. Hinata-kan. Whoa! Huh? Is something wrong? It's called being spooked. No, I was just lost in thought. I panicked a little because the very person I was thinking of stealing from appears before me. Something you need? Well, obviously warming up comes first, but I want to get your opinion on what to do after that. Care to elaborate? My plan was to have people from our school face your members in mock battles on the very last day. That way we can both show the results of us trained together. But I want to confirm that with you, since maybe you have something more practical in mind. Yeah, that'd be a bad idea. We aren't really good enough to face them in mock battles. Chances are high that we'd get crushed. I'm just glad we get the chance to practice with everyone from Takafuji. I see. That's too bad. Something wrong? To be honest, I was hoping to learn a few things from the way you coach. Shindu-san brows aren't moving at all, he's dead serious. I can't believe a guy who's said to be the best Skywalker of our generation idolizes me. Okay, let's have them all spend today's practice getting to know each other. He readily backs down and proposes something that isn't what he actually wants to do. I can't help but feel that he is a far better person than me. However, I have a different opinion. What do you think? There's no need for us to get friendly. I mean, we aren't here to make new friends. We can't do that along the way, you know. Sure, chances are high that it will get crushed if we challenge them at all, but... well, it's my job as their coach to make sure that won't happen. And at the same time, I need to make them realise how big the gap between them and top Skywalkers really is. I appreciate the thought though. I guess we can at least give them the opportunity to get to know each other. In that case, since practice time is precious and limited, we should go with a casual game. Then we can use the results to plan out for a schedule for tomorrow. Makes sense to me. Allow me to apologise. I wasn't doing it on purpose, but it seems I underestimated how serious you are about all this. No, I should apologise for being so blunt. It's fine. Now, as for what we're going to do... There's also the option of calling it a game, but then making them suffer through harsh conditions that force them to band together and get along. Yeah, how about we just go with a normal game instead? I was just kidding. That beaming smile of his makes it hard to tell. Shadowcan. It's Shadoween, President. Gather everyone and get started. I'm currently playing today's schedule with him. Shindu-san points at me as he says that. That leaves you next in line to lead, Shadowcan. He said Shadowcan again. I'll take care of it. I promise to surpass your expectations. It's Shadowin. Yeah, I'm really glad to have you around. I don't know what I'd do without you, Shadowcan. I like this guy. What the hell? Are these two actually on bad terms? Ah, that could be an opportunity, can't it, Masaya? Hey you! Huh? Me? I get started as Shadowin suddenly points at me. You're wondering why he's calling me Shatu, aren't you? Oh yeah. She somehow guesses the question I have in mind. In fact, I was planning on asking Shindu-san about it after Shadowin-san left. And if it turned out there was a bad blood between them, my plan was to leave it at that. There's no need for you to let that question eat away at you. I shall answer it right here and now. What? Man, this is bad. What am I supposed to do if it turns out they can't stand each other? Is it because the last name of my birth certificate is Shatu? For some reason she declares that in a very proud and confident tone. Huh? It takes me a while to fully comprehend what she just dropped on me. So if the name of her birth certificate is Shatu, then... Wait, your real name is Raiko Shatu? Correct. No, it's Raiko... Shut up. You've not got the IN at the end. What? This is downright confusing. What's up with the in part? Suddenly Shadowin-san, or should I say Shatu-san, shoves her face toward mine. Then, let me instead ask you a question. Why does your name not have an in? I'm confused. Let this be a word of warning. You need to fight for the right to have your very... You're not explaining anything. You're just putting 2 extra words at the surname of yours. Like, what does that have anything to do with anything here? When did I ever say I want one? She lets out a triumphant snort. I shall excuse myself now. After saying that, she throws back her hair with her hand, spins around and leaves. Her long hair unfurls like a beautiful cloak. I simply stare at her back, completely flabbergasted. I'm really confused right now. I'll add that she has no problem with her family name. Apparently she just loves the in part even more. Cool? Frankly, I couldn't care less. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, but I'm still confused. Like, what does the in part have to do with anything? Like, is it really that important to you that you have 2 extra letters at the end of your name? Or does it have some personifications to it? Does she get upset when you don't call her Shadowin-san? No, she does point it out, but she never forces a person to use it. But even so, everyone calls her Shadowin-san. Just goes to show how much they adore her, I suppose. Are they just doing what's smart? Don't wake up a sleeping giant, as they say. Besides, you keep using her real name. Well, that's because I'm not good with girls. It's easy to keep up a conversation that way. Yep, it's really hard to tell when he's cracking a joke. He's got a good poker face, I can say that much. Guess it's better for me to keep calling her Shadowin-san. Now, let's just call her Shatu-san. Alright. Let's give them hell. Good, good. After a thoroughly exhausting practice, we had dinner. And now we've dragged all our bags over to Takafuji's dojo. Apparently all the guys are going to sleep here. There are more girls, so they got the gym instead. Don't worry, I prefer the dojo instead. All that's left for the day is to take a bath and go to sleep at lights out. I'm kind of worried about Shindu-san because he seemed like such a huge fanboy earlier, but luckily he hasn't done anything suspicious since. Hinata, a little more to the right. Use more strength. I can't. Your back muscles are bulging out, so they'll slip right out of my hands when I try to get a better grip on them. Flattery will get you nowhere, Hinata, but I guess I can reward you with the right to wash my back. No! Sounds more like a punishment than a reward. Right now I'm mounting our What? Okay. No, he doesn't force me to do this. In fact, it was my idea. I figured I could use this chance to develop a useful skill, but... how is it, Prez? Feels good, I think. Any technique goes right out the window with him. Can't really use him to get better. I'm so jealous. I'd like to get one too later. Shindu. Prez bolts up at the sight of him, knocking me away. I'll never allow that. Hinata belongs to our club. I was just kidding. Shindu gives a light nod as he says that. Yeah, just kidding. You wouldn't look so down in the dumps if you were just cracking a joke. Man, these aren't the kind of people I want to be popular with. Shindu-san, huh? He's someone who approached me knowing my past. I don't think he's a bad person, but I don't quite trust him either. It's hard to figure out what he wants. Yeah, and naturally, that has me rather nervous. By the way, Hinata-kan, there's something I want to discuss with you. Yeah? Oh boy, here it comes. Is it going to be about my past again or something else? It's a matter I don't want others to hear, so can you move your ear closer? Okay. I move my ear over to his mouth so he can whisper into it. Come on, that's lame. Don't go gossiping like a bunch of girls. Just spit out like real men. It's a matter of great importance. A matter of great importance that won't let other people hear? Don't make me laugh. Shinan, you're being embarrassing right now. Shindu-san. Prez is probably sad because he feels left out. I thought so. Let's put it to the test. Why? Can you lend me your ear as well, Aogi-kan? This better not be anything silly. He readily brings his ear close. I don't really like the situation, especially if he's going to bring up my past again. But Shindu-san gives me a nod to reassure me, makes a serious expression, and then begins to speak. This looks like another scene we're going to cut out of the video, ladies and gentlemen. For goodness sakes. Come again? I'm not sure I heard that right. Like I said. No. Just no. A shudder runs from my body as he confirms my suspicions. What the hell? Does he even know what he's saying? Now he's scaring me in a completely different sense. Oh, please don't misunderstand. Yeah, right. Shindu-san apparently notices the look of disgust on my face and shakes his hand in a gentlemanly way. Like, that is the entire purpose of what you want to do. You can't just say that first line and then go and think of the other thing. For goodness sakes, man. No. Just no. You know, that's just as bad, but in a totally different way. I mean, why else would you want to do that? I know I just asked him that question, but I'm not sure I really want to hear the answer. I want us to face tough challenges together. As I say, it's about the journey, not the reward. Then pick something that isn't a crime. True strength only manifests in the most extreme of situations. But we could lose everything, like everyone's trust in our reputation. I'm willing to take that risk as long as you're by my side. Let's face any punishment make... No, I don't want to do that. Can we have the choice of saying no? Turns out Shindo-san is way scarier than I thought. Luckily Prez is shaking. Glad I have someone on my side. How manly. He was shaking from joy. Damn it! Alright, then let's drop a I don't want to drop a plan. Glad to hear you taking this so seriously. Both baths are open air. You might think that makes it easy, since we live in an era where any man can fly through the sky, but the security there has never been breached. Getting past security may be impossible alone, but there are two of us. I just want to get past this goddamn scenario, for goodness sakes. This is making me feel uncomfortable, and I'm sure it's making some of you feel uncomfortable as well. And I, whose artistic muscles will be held, whatever that is, work together, we may just pull it off. But wait, won't Hinata hold us back? It might be better to leave him behind. Yeah, well, we could discuss that once we've assessed the situation on site. I keep listening for now. Can always just knock them out when push comes to shove. What's this? My phone's ringing. And the caller is... Madoka, what's up? Where are you? Huh? Why the sudden question? Spill. I'm in the dojo. Where else would I be? Time for bed. Thank you very much for getting us off that track. All the guys lined up in their sleeping bags earlier. Since the players are rather tired, there's no chattering going on either. Seems like they're all out like a light. It's probably better if I don't think about why these two chose to sleep next to me. Better them than strangers, I guess. Okay, it's time. I get up. Everyone's exhausted because of all the hard work they put in earlier. I usually try to make time for this, so it's nothing new, but I can't deny that watching them has me extra motivated. However, it isn't something I can do in a confined space. Guess I head outside for a bit. What are we doing? Shindu-san would probably get in a lot of trouble if something goes wrong on school grounds. Guess I go somewhere else. Though, I guess me wandering off by myself in the middle of the night is actually more of a problem. Yeah, it would be, won't you think? Well, whatever. It's fine as long as I don't get caught. Fly. With that, I head off into the night sky, making sure to be as quiet as possible. But... of course, there would be someone watching. Hinata-san? And so the night of our first train camp day comes to an end. Oh, dearie me. It's the second day of our training camp. Practice has already begun. However, it's a lot different from yesterday. Everyone warmed up together, but after that, they were split into fighters, all-rounders and speeders for individual practice. And I'm going around checking on every section at different intervals. Right now, I'm looking after the fighters. Oh, and there's also one more different thing that's really different. Minori. Over 60% of Takafuji Skywalkers are fighters. The going FC theory right now that because there's only a fixed amount of checkpoints on the playfield, it's impossible for speeders to outrun the opponent the entire time. And Takafuji is playing by that theory. Hosaka, was it? You can also call you Minori or Minoriana. You know, cause my name is Minori. Got it. Hosaka. I don't think you did. Listen, I already know all of that. I immediately noticed that when I watched them practice yesterday. There's no need for you to go into detail. That might be true, but look, I got myself all dolled up for today's coverage. Cool. Except she never bothered to ask if it was alright for her to tag along. Anyway, I figured I'd confirm it with the coach before using it in my article. You were using me to validate your info? Well, not like it matters. The name of this odd girl is Minora Hosaki. Apparently, she's a freshman at Kinohama who's in Mashira's class. Unfortunately for me, she showed up out of the blue at practice this morning. She said she was part of Kunahama Academy Broadcasting Club. Seems she heard about this training camp from Mashiro and came to cover it. By the way, coach, is the reason we have so many fighters also based on data, like in Takafuji's case? No, it's based on personal preference. She's right. We have one all-rounder, Asuka, one speeder, Prez, and 2 fighters, Misaki and Mashiro. She said Takafuji is over 60% fighters, but we're also a whopping 50%. However, no, I'm just respecting their wishes. It's different in the case of Prez, who was already practicing FC before, but the others all kinda just picked a style they liked. They probably all have their own reasons too. Coach, are you actually doing your job? Oh, come on, have a little faith. My self-confidence is gonna take a hit at this rate. Masaya-senpai, please do your job right. Great, now there's a player saying the same thing, namely Mashiro. Hey, Mashiro. What's up? Like I said earlier, the 2 of them are classmates. So what do you want us to do? Let's practice the scissors. The scissors? The scissors is a flight maneuver that consists of a series of short, quick turns a defender makes toward the attacker as they continue to move forward. Basically, I want you to practice switching positions with the person on your tail. In FC, where you score points by touching your opponent's back, you obviously have to avoid getting closed in from behind. Evade moving forward. And by effectively executing the scissors, you can make an opponent that's closing in on you overshoot. So it's always like waiting until the very last moment when they least expect it or have the least amount of time to react. Then you can turn the tables and go for your opponent's back instead. Basically, it's a maneuver that allows you to overturn the rules of the hunter and the hunted. Is that more for speeders? What makes you think that? Isn't it rare for fighters to be ahead of an opponent? Not at all. Oh really? First of all, you're assuming your opponent is a speeder. Tell me, what happens when you're facing another fighter? Yeah, you've got to accommodate for all kinds of scenarios. Besides, it also happens when your opponent is a speeder. Just think about it. If they overtake you without doing anything fancy, you can always go for their back. So they'll go after you first to keep you from getting in their way. The good part is that the player behind you is usually watching you and matching their speed to get the upper hand, which slows them down. And that leaves you going faster than your opponent. Pretty neat, huh? I see you know so much, Misaki-senpai. Hey! Mashiro's attitude is just so bluntly different when Misaki's involved. It's a little annoying. Yeah, it certainly is. Well, whatever. There's also one more thing. Speeders simply aren't suited for this practice. Speeders can't do short, quick turns. Plus, as long as they aren't up against another speeder, there's no reason for them to try to switch positions. Instead, they can fly straight forward and leave their opponent in the dust. Misaki-senpai? Hey, stop it! At least pretend to listen. We'll set training buoys at intervals of about 3 meters both vertically and horizontally. The ultimate goal will be you slaloming between buoys placed in all directions. Slaloming? I mean flying in zigzags, yeah, between obstacles. Kind of like in Winter Olympics with certain ski Olympic sports. Why don't you just say it from the start? You can't just assume we know everything. Well, sorry about that. Now that the lecture's out of the way, it's time to get to the fun stuff. Try to narrow the angle of your curves to make your turns as tight as possible. The tighter your turns, the faster you can make your opponent overshoot. Plus, it'll help you move faster. The students proceed to fly one after the other. But also as well, the tighter the turn, the less time you take to do it. Huh? Man, the girl who just started is pretty damn good. Oh, that's Misaki. Unlike her whimsical, carefree personality, his flying is very precise and clean. La la la. And she isn't even giving it her all. How much is she holding back? At this point, I really want to see her go all out. But how do I make her do that? The next player enters the field as I mull over the thought. She's quite a bit worse than Misaki. Oh, it's Mashiro. Ah! Huh? Yeah. I can tell she's trying her best, but her movements leave much to be desired. I'm guessing she doesn't have an athletic bone in her body. She really seems to have trouble with any precise movement. Honestly, I was just thinking that same thing too. I always thought she'd make a better speeder. Mashiro, can you come over for a sec? I'll wait for Mashiro to finish her scissors run, then call out to her, sorry. What is it? Mashiro lands in front of me as she says that. While I was about to say what I have in mind, I suddenly stop and think. Is this really the advice Mashiro needs? If she isn't focused on winning, then my suggestion is totally misplaced. And having watched her so far, it's clear that she really wants. What is it? Is something the matter? I am going to go with the unpopular initiative by saying suggest changing her playstyle. I decided to suggest changing her playstyle. Listen, don't you think you'd be better as speeder? Because I sure do. No, you're wrong. Oh really? Or was it that moment of silence then? It's fine, I'll make more progress if I share Misaki Senpai's playstyle. When you say progress, you're talking about FC, right? Let's leave that aside. No, we can't. That's the most important part. I'm saying it's fine, so just listen to me. Or what? Are you trying to ignore what I want? No, I know exactly how she feels. I know the reason Mashiro is doing FC. And in that case, my suggestion is not only pointless, but also detrimental. Got it. I'm sorry. Forget I ever said anything. Don't apologize, Senpai. I guess you've been paying a lot of attention to me lately. Huh? What do you mean? Alright, turn towards me, guys. Yeah? You again. Say, this is not a photography session! And the flash of my camera blinds me. Hey Minori, what was that about? Well look, that seemed like a perfect shot for all of Kinohama's coach at work. Don't get me in them, it's embarrassing. Oh wait, why'd you take a photo of me and Misaki Senpai after we're done with practice? I'm trying to show people hard at work. This isn't some photo shoot for the yearbook. Thank you. Okay, for once I agree with you on something, go on the left. Oh, if I waste more time here, someone might get all chummy with Misaki Senpai. Alright then, Masaya Senpai, I'll be going now. Break a leg out there. Not literally. With that, Mashiro returns to the scissors practicing waiting line. Me see. You learned something from your article? Well, the fact that she didn't overreact when I took a shot of you two together has to mean... Right now, there's no special relationship between her and her coach. What do you write for a gossip rag? What kind of reaction was she fishing for? I don't know. After watching the fighter practice, I head over to the all-rounders. Their practice consists mainly of mock battles and formulating strategies. Eventually we reach a good stopping point. Okay, I'll move on to the next group now. Thanks for all your help, coach. I see now, his title isn't just for show. Put aside the players, the staff Kinohama boasts is also quite... All-rounders! Look here, I'm going to take a picture to cap things off. Hold on, I haven't finished saying my piece. Show me those pearly white seat. No. Jeez. Okay. Colour me impressed. All the girls, including Shadowin-san, who had been opposing the situation a mere moment ago, looked straight out of a glamour shoot as Hosaka took the picture. Nice. Thank you all. Make sure you send the photos over to us as well. Hosoka quickly catches up to me as I begin to walk away. Alrighty, and now last but not least, the speeders. Right. It's not like there's so few of them because they're an elite group, right? No, I imagine it's based on current trends. Over 60% of Prodigy students are fighters and another 30% are all-rounders. That obviously means that less than 10% are speeders. Pretty slim pickings, basically. Like Asako mentioned earlier, currently FC theory states that when you play at the highest levels, fighters have the overall advantage. However, that only applies to top players. Fighter is a playstyle that's heavily skill-based and tactical, yes! And so, it's only better at the very top. An inexperienced fighter will immediately be left in the dust by a speeder, yep. So you're saying that the skill gate is lower for speeder, but you ultimately are more rewarded at a fighter playstyle if you know how to do it correctly. I doubt that Takafuchi is enforcing playstyles, but considering the fact that it's an environment with many top players, this distribution makes a lot of sense. We also have one speeder at Kunohama. I'm talking about Prez, of course. However, he's pretty special since he doesn't seem to care at all about being efficient. Instead, he's focused on doing whatever he can to put his muscles on display. Is he trying to dazzle his opponents with his muscles or something? But anyway, coaching speeders, huh? I feel pretty bummed out. What's wrong? You seem kind of depressed. Can I ask you something I'm curious about? Oh, about FC? Sure. See, I've done a ton of research. I know everything there is to know about FC. My question has absolutely nothing to do with FC, but oh well, not like that it really matters. Alright. I'm ready. Where did you get all that energy from? You're supposed to be a journalist, not a cheerleader. Hey, that's got nothing to do with FC. Don't remember saying it had anything to do with FC. And it also has nothing to do with the reason why I'm slightly depressed. I'm just asking a question that's been on my mind for a while. That ain't how I normally talk. Really? Yep, figure I better not talk like a girl since I want to be a journalist and all. Otherwise I'll end up getting married to a pro baseball player in no time flat. Okay, so what dump did you get that basis from? That's pretty... Yeah, and a reporter being an informer is more weird than anything. Yeah. Don't make me sound like a rude kid. For example, oh hi, guess I'm all done here. Hello Shindu-san. Shindu-san, who has been looking after the speeders so far, greets us. Now that I've come to take his place, Shindu-san is going to attend to the fighters next. Your practice methods are quite educational. Same here. There's a lot for me to learn. Hello Shindu-san. Oh, you're Hisaka-kan, I believe. Is your coverage coming together well? Yes, absolutely. I'm very glad that you made this possible despite my sudden request. Oh, you're welcome. Shindu-san then looks at me and... About you know what? Is it going well? What is... How do you caption this particular image, for goodness sakes? Yes, of course, you can trust on me that. Why is Asako looking at me when she says that? The two of them nod to each other. Well then, Hinata-kan, I'm leaving the speeders in your capable hands. Oh, yeah. Shindu-san takes his leave. See, I was polite there, right? That was the opposite of polite. That was smug, and you know it. No, sorry, something different caught my attention just now. Oh, before I forget, say cheese, coach. Hisoka suddenly takes a photo of me. Well, what were you gonna say? Hisaka, you didn't make some sort of deal with Shindu-san, did you? Kinda starting to think she's taking all these photos of me for something other than the school paper, yeah. I have no evidence, but I'm getting chills. I would never. Really? Shindu-san asked me to take as many pictures of you as possible. That's all. Wait, what? Are you kidding me? Wonder what he plans to do with them. I don't even want to think about that. Well, I for one choose to believe in Shindu-san. I mean, he seems like a stand-up guy. Ah! I'm getting it. Quit prying. Why in the world she just fold her hands? Man, you really ain't gonna comment on my speech. What? Then I'm not getting the polite treatment then? You mean? Yeah, it's cause you're part of a coverage. Hisoka's eyes widened suddenly. Don't tell me you're trying... No, we're not doing that. We're not doing... not doing that one bit, for goodness sakes. Just get your mind out of the gutters, all of you. Especially Masaki, for goodness sakes. You wish. Yeah. Huh? Your conversation is none of my business, but I would appreciate it if you could get started. Crap, I forgot. I was feeling down a mere moments ago, but I let the reason for that slip from my mind. And now I'm facing my fears. Ichino's is standing in front of me, an inscrutable smile on her face. Well, this is awkward. Still getting all flustered would only make things worse. I need to focus on practice right now. I'm sorry. Okay, let's get started. I've chosen the low yo-yo for the speeders to practice today. This maneuver consists of a sharp downward flight, where you use Earth's gravity to accelerate yourself, then use that momentum, you turn back upward and climb, gaining speed. Logic would tell you that flying in a straight line is faster if you're flying the same distance, but in fact, this arc-like maneuver is actually faster due to the quick boost in speed you generate. The low yo-yo is a crucial technique for speeders. Since they initially start off with a very slow velocity, they need to make use of outside forces like the pull of gravity to make up for that disadvantage. There also happens to be a skill that's the complete opposite. It consists of a diagonal climb, followed by a sharp downward dive. It's called a high yo-yo. One of the most disadvantageous positions a player can be in during SC is when your opponent is behind them. No, it doesn't mean your opponent can easily touch your back, but you yourself have no way of touching theirs. That's a slow down climb. The high yo-yo is effectively the counter to that. The first step is the diagonal climb. Since your opponent is travelling straight, switching to a diagonal motion leads to the natural outcome of your opponent overshooting and end up in front of you. That would be opponent. And once that happens, you aim for the back with a sharp dive that utilises the acceleration from gravity. The high yo-yo is much more solutional move than the yo-yo-yo, but it's still a basic technique that every FC player should have in their arsenal. Alright then, form a line and do it in order. I'll call out to you if I notice anything wrong. Guess I'll go first. The practice method itself is very straightforward. Two buoys are set far apart at different altitudes. The students just have to practice ascending and descending along the line that joins them. If your forward flight posture is off and you can't properly maintain your form, you end up flying slower than when you go in a straight line. It's very important to have a stable form, but not a lot of people get that. Ichinos, come over for a second. Okay. Ichinos walks over to Miwa after a short pause. She probably feels just as bad about our last conversation as I do. But practice is practice. Right now I need to focus on my responsibilities. I watched you flying once. Back then I noticed that you had great form. But thank you. You got no issues on that front. So it just comes down to how smoothly you can transition from a descent to a climb. That's the other main factor in improving your low yo-yo. Repetition is usually the best way to improve at, but... Ichinos, are you listening? Yes, I'm sorry. I'm trying to not let outside emotions cloud my judgment since it's time for practice and all. But it seems like Ichinos didn't get the memo. I know this isn't easy, but I need you to focus right now. You could get hurt. I know. But I can't really beat her up over it, so I'm partially to blame. Should I take her aside to talk? Emotional problems aren't easy to resolve, but in this case I might be able to do something. And who knows, something like this might happen at Kurahamwe eventually. May as well get this valuable experience now. Plus, I'm Ichinos' coach right now. I need to figure out some way to resolve this misunderstanding without talking about my past. Hey, can I get an interview? You always come in at the worst time, don't you? Huh? Hosoka suddenly interjects and completely wrecks the atmosphere. Hosoka, we're in the middle of practice here. The atmosphere seems pretty heavy to me. I guess, I see, she did that on purpose. Which means she actually tried to help. Might as well let her do her thing for now. You're Raika Ichino's, yes? Yeah, that's right. Raika Ichino's, the girl who's about to earn a starting position of one of the strongest teams in the prefecture, even though she's just a freshman. What? She's that good? Color me impressed. Starter means you're part of a select group of players who get one of the tournament slots every school is assigned. If I remember correctly, Takafuji had 5 slots last summer. That means only the top 5 students in Takafuji's almost 100-member FC club can participate in tournaments. It's been less than a month since Ichino's transferred over here. If she's already close to earning one of her spots, wow, she must be one of the top players in this prefecture. Oh no, I'm obviously not on that level yet. How long have you been a Skywalker? 3 years, I believe. 3 years? You're not from around here. Correct, I moved here from Kanoshima this spring. You're no Shitu native then? Exactly. That means you got here on a sports scholarship or something. No, I just happened to choose this school after we moved here. My parents have new jobs in the area. Hosoka made it seem like she brought up the interview to help lighten the mood, but I'm not sure that's right. Seems like she just had this planned all along. Well, I gotta admit she's still helping me out, but the thing is, we're in the middle of practice. I made a promise with my friend. Oh, a promise with an old friend? Sounds like a scoop. Go on, tell me, what was it? It's something personal. Okay, that's enough. I interrupt the two of them. Hey, I'm in the middle of pumping information out of there. This is some good stuff, so I'm sure it'll bump up my readership. Yeah, only for personal gain for you. You should show some restraint. The word restraint isn't even my vocabulary. Then add it. Look, this interview is over. Kinda starting to think she'll end up becoming a paparazzi at this rate. Thank you. Don't thank me. Honestly, I should be apologising on her behalf. Oh, I understand she's not trying to offend. But I have to admit, it would have been nice if you stepped in a little earlier. You're mad at me, aren't you? Considering everything that's happened, I can't blame her. Guess Takafuji doesn't need to worry about their future with a promising player like Ichino's. We have some promising players too. But we've got no stars. Fair enough. It's going to be a few weeks since our club truly formed and we started with practice. Oh. Get this paparazzi girl out of here, for goodness sakes. Yeah, no, I don't Ichino's whether agree to transfer. Oh no. Ichino's nods as she hides behind me. She seems scared of Hosoka now. Yeah, that's a damn shame. But I'm thinking more about a star who's going into hiding. There's a player like that? I won't try to poach anyone regardless. She has me curious. Yeah, heard about all it when I was looking up my stuff with my article. There's some genius about our age, a kid who everyone thought would be a top player eventually. Wait, do you mean? You've got to be kidding me. Kid was winning every tournament in his age bracket until he hit 11. Rumours said he was the illegitimate child or prodigal apprentice of the soaring princess, Miss Kagami. Are you doing this on purpose? Huh? What do you mean? Talking about that boy? What, is he dead? See, I'm not all that good at gathering information. Yeah, but maybe you should pick some other career besides journalist. But that's besides the point. You seriously don't know. Come to think of it, Miss Kagami wouldn't tell me anything about him either. Don't tell me he's just an urban legend. Wait, does everyone know who talks about him get cursed? Phew. I hear Echino's barely keeping herself from bursting into laughter. She totally knows all the rumors are about me. You ever heard anything about him, Echino's? Great. She just had to ask the worst possible person. This is bad. Echino's is looking up at me with a questioning gaze. It'll get pretty damn annoying if Hisako finds out, but I guess I've got no choice but to put up with it. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about him. Huh? I see. It's not me, but Hisako is disappointed. Too bad. If he was a player with such a promising future, I was ready to throw myself at him instead of a pro baseball player. Yeah, no thanks, but more importantly, why? I gaze at Echino's face. I mean, she seemed to want more info on me too. I'll return to practice now. Sure. Oh, thanks for your time, Echino's. And after that, Echino's focuses on practice as if whatever has been weighing on her mind has disappeared. What caused her change of heart? Let's see. Very well then, it's time to eat. Enjoy! Thanks! After practice ended, we prepared food together. Food tastes a lot more delicious when you're drained after practice. Hey, slow down or you end up choking on the food. I know I'm the manager, but I really don't want to have to deal with that. Whoa, Prez sure sounds like a vacuum cleaner. Jeez, I told you so. Misaki-senpai, this pork soup is delicious. Well, of course, Grandma taught me how to make it. I have to say, the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with sure is lucky. They'll get to eat food this good all the time. I know, right? I'm such a... For goodness sakes, do you have to droll like that? Huh? Why? But Tobushawa-san, this is really amazing. Oh, thanks. I could tell you put a lot of effort into this. Doesn't seem like it was easy to make. What's your secret? Mind sharing? Hold on, let me focus on eating before my battery dies. Misaki is surrounded by Takafuji girls. Is something wrong? No. Just don't think I'll ever get a chance to witness something like this again. Let's ignore the fact that Mishiro looks peed off right now. Misaki-chan displayed some serious leadership skills when we were cooking. Wait, really? And she can't spare some of that during practice? By the way, the girls prepared dinner. Us guys were in charge of cleaning up after practice. Which dish did you make, Asuka? I washed the rice and cut vegetables, I guess. Can't cook? No, it's just that the other girls were way better than me. Doesn't that include Mishira and Madoka? No, they just wash the dishes. Wow, they didn't even get to touch the ingredients, huh? Harsh. This meat is pretty good. Oh, Rika-chan made that. Seemed like she knew her way around the kitchen. I see. Come to think of it, back when Echino's moved in next door, she brought us soba noodles. I remember those being pretty great. Let me have a taste too. Oh, you're right, it's so tender. I really like the seasoning. We're so lucky to get all this good food. I should go thank Rika-chan. Right now? Yes, timing is everything. Guess that's true. My tenuous relationship with Echino's is one thing I regret about this training camp. What to do? No, we'll tag along. But that is for the next time, folks. So, thank you all so much for watching. This has been an adventurous episode. And we shall see each other in the next time of this tale, where we get to tag along with Asuka to go and see Rika-chan. Whichever facture thing it is. Have a good day and take care of yourselves.